Disclaimer, don't take the criticism in this video too seriously. It's for humor. You'll understand what I mean in a minute.
School starts tomorrow. That's fun. I'm kind of bummed out now. So today, I thought we would do a review. But none of that stupid new Mattel stuff. I want to do something classic. As classic and as good as Old Thompson Rally can get. Today, we are reviewing Flying Scotsman. Well, I know what you're expecting. This Flying Scotsman style video. Title. What, you thought we reviewed Thomas? Thought we were gonna review Thomas? I already did, so this is beautiful.
Flying Scotsman was introduced in 1999. The introduction of this engine was pretty surprising since the Scotsman never appeared in the TV series, The Tenders Don't Count, but was in the Railway series. Anyways, the item lasted from 1999 to 2003, for reasons you might have already guessed. But was then reintroduced 10 years later by Mattel, and was discontinued the next year, but no one was quite sure why they re-released it in the first place.
Well, I know why. Mattel lured us in with reintroduction of classic models, so we'd think, oh, maybe Thomas will be good again, but we were wrong. Oh so wrong.
Anyways, enough about that, it's time to dive into the model.
I just remembered. Flying Scotsman is the one item every single Thompson Rally collector is gonna go nuts for. There have been so many reviews of him already, I don't possibly know how this one's gonna be original in any way whatsoever. Actually, I do know. I'm gonna go ham on this item, folks. I'm going to nitpick this thing to shit, pointing out every single minor, insignificant error they have made in the production of this item. This is everything wrong with Flying Scotsman, folks.
So, first of all, let's start at the front. The Flying Scotsman has a winking face, which is pretty original and nice, but it has one thing that drives me absolutely mad. It's not the same size as the smokebox and boiler. Instead of being a nice round form and covering the whole front of the smokebox, it decides to be a rebel and just be slightly thinner than the smokebox. Then, further down the model, you find the name, Flying Scotsman, correctly painted on the side of the boiler. And there is your problem. Why is the plate on the side of the boiler? It's supposed to be on the wheel splashers. And speaking of the wheels, the Flying Scotsman has 4 huge wheels, bigger than most Thompson Railway wheels, each one of them sharing the bogie with the smaller normal size wheels that are supposed to represent the real-life unpowered bogies. And though it is original and you have never seen an engine made like this before, it almost ruins the model. Due to the big wheels, the running board has been massively cut so that both wouldn't collide, which means that the firebox is resting on nothing, and also gives the model a hideous shape, making it look even less like Gordon, who is supposed to be the same class as him. And even with the running board cut out, there are still some issues with the big wheels. When going on the small tight curves, the wheels will actually rub against the paint and slowly but surely chip away the paint of the non-existent running board. And also, only having 4 big driving wheels makes it even less accurate to its prototype and its real-life configuration. Big City Engine is a prime example of good usage of big wheels. Now, moving on to the cab, which would be fine if it wasn't for this. What is this? Just a circle? This is probably meant to represent the Doncaster Works plate you see on many Gursley Pacific logos on the side of the cab, but come on, is this the best you can do? A circle? You can give Boco a full proper British Railways logo, but you can't even do a super special Railway Series engine, a Doncaster Works plate? Even the Mattel one gave it a bit more effort and put in the British Railway logo, with the wrong name, but still something. Now, onto the tenders. First of all, the text looks dull, so dull. Usually the text and numbers on the engines have a nice outline that defines them, but here we have nothing, just some bland yellow text. They could have at least tried to make it look somewhat like the usual LNER writing by giving it a slight shadow-like outline, but no, just yellow. I don't have much to say about the coal load or the weird bump on the water tender, but I have one last thing to say about the paint application. The tender was first of all painted black since the two ends and the top of the tender are black, and then applicated the green on top of that. This is not a good thing at all, since as you see on my model, with some rough play, the paint can chip right off and expose the black paint on the back, which, in my opinion, is not acceptable at all.
So that was my review of the Flying Scotsman. Don't get me wrong, it is an okay item. I mostly just focused on the bad. But I made this video because people seem to be oblivious to these faults just because, ooh, it's the Flying Scotsman, some super ultra awesome Railway Series character. Oblivious enough to call it the most rare and worthwhile item in the whole range, which I don't mind, it's personal preference. But think about this. Would you really think this would be such a great item if the Flying Scotsman was just, I don't know, some engine introduced in the early CGI series written by Sharon Miller? Would you really think it'd be that great? This was Eric Care 53. Thanks for watching. Please don't try to track down my house and nuke me.
Goodbye, Eric Pierre 53. Oh, I used too much smoke again. This stupid fog machine. I need to get out more.